Hello everyone and welcome back to another day, another stream by Indian racing community. It is I watching Nirma. In the com box with me is Wishes and our stream for the day is Sir SSJ Assassin. Hello everyone. Yes,
Nirma.
hello indeed. So the track for today is Suzuka. What do you have in mind for Tier-2?
Tier-2, Suzuka is going to be a challenging circuit to drive on, and especially with the drivers getting hinted that it will be, mixed conditions, which means rain will be a factor that is involved. It's going to be a tough ride for the drivers, but there have been a few updates from the last round, which was Singapore, that uh, we've relaxed the assist restrictions for tier 2 because of certain issues experienced in the last race. So the drivers will now have access to full traction control, so there won't be as much slipping and sliding as we saw in the last few rounds. So the drivers hopefully will have a better time today.
Well, yeah, in the last race in Singapore, we saw a lot of people spinning out, getting involved in incidents. So it was pretty atrocious weather over there. So I think we might see some proper wheel to wheel battle now. And since it's Suzuka, we should expect some good racing regardless. It's a beautiful track. Sector 1 with the S is beautiful. Then we have Dunlop. Then we have the final sector as well and the very famous 130R. So we should be seeing some very good overtaking opportunities here with the drivers as we see intermediate conditions on the track with 13 drivers in the pits.
13 drivers so far, yes indeed, and the telemetry doesn't seem to be working now, so we do not have the weather predictions out for the moment. Oh, is there some issue here on the streaming end, Nirma?
No, on the Discord end.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was sharing my screen with you guys. Hold on. Yeah. I hope you can see now.
Yes, now we can see Dante Adams trying to weave around, get tire attempts into his tires. We have 4 drivers on the track on an outlap. 13 drivers on the track right currently in the session right now. Mr. Singh, Dante in the AlphaTauri and the McLaren respectively. The only 2 teams with both drivers in the session, sorry, 4 teams with both the drivers are AlphaTauri with Mr. Singh and Mr. We have the McLaren of Dante Adams and Navarra. We have the Ferrari of Satwik and Steele and Seas. And we have the Mercedes of Solo and Probably.
Yep. Both of them seem to be in the pits right now, so uh, maybe they're just loading in their setups. But 2 minutes have already gone past, so they'd they'd better hurry up and get out on the track as soon as possible, at least so that they can get in a few practice runs. From based on what I've read in the tier chat, they are severely lacking. So, yeah, track conditions will improve, of course, since we are still in the interest conditions. We've only got 3 minutes. We're only 3 minutes into the session as we are now on board the first driver starting our hot lap today. Or yeah, that is the first driver, and that is Satvik Reddy, who is also the first driver to spin out of turn 1 as well, and fortunately manages to not impede Aaron Gavin, who is currently, well, at the moment, the only driver out on track, setting a hot lap.
Well, it's intermediate conditions. I think we're going to see some incidents happen. I think we should keep an eye out on Sector 1 in the race start because it's pretty close and it's pretty high speed as well. So the drivers will have contact. And as we saw Satvik just spin off, I think it's only common occurrence in qualifying as of now if the drivers will have proper temps on the tires. As we see Aaron Gavin heading up into Sector 2, it's gonna break late, send it a bit wide, and then just hug the apexes. And as he has a car in front, I don't think it's going to impede him in any way, shape, or form. And we don't have any other cars impeding. I see a Haas was at an AlphaTauri up there, right in front of the
Oh,
Mercedes. You're gonna
he's
see
made a
him,
mistake.
and yeah, he has gone wide. I think this will invalidate his lap.
Nope. It's not been,
It
he's
does.
not invalidated his lap because according to the game he has lost time while rejoining the circuit, so he will still have his lap. But the mistake he made was that just into the entry of Spoon, he had mounted his car had mounted onto the little bit of grass on the outside, so that resulted in him understeering onto the outside of the track, as he definitely gets impeded on this run over here by, I think it's I'm sorry, wait. Not missed. It's Mr. Singh, who had just started his hot lap, as these seem to be. No, when Mr. Singh has almost spins into the rear of Aaron Gavin, as Wizard of Oz takes provisional pole with a lap which is almost a second and a half off of Aaron Gavin.
That's complete lack of special awareness from Mr. Singh right there. Not something you won't expect from a driver. He knew there was a car behind him in the final in the beginning of sector 3. He knew the car was still setting up a lap, and fairly goes up to ruin his lap and Aaron Gavin's lap as well. Not something. Oh, very close again. That's not the type of driver you would expect. That is being a danger to himself and the others as well. You should probably keep the driving in check, because the lap 1 is always going to be very, very intense, as we should not be getting so many impeding drivers. The track is pretty huge to create a gap. I don't think anyone else is going to be impeding anyone now. We have Mercedes, the Alfa Romeo, and Ferrari entering sector 2. We have a purple sector from the Ferrari of Satvik Reddy entering sector 2 as well, behind the McLarens. And I think everyone else is on a lap except Steele Smith, who is setting an outlap.
Yep, Steel Sneeze was the man on pole last time. Or no, sorry, it was Aaron Gavin who was the man on pole last time, and he was followed by Steel Sneeze and Satvik Reddy, who set a Ferrari 2-3. But a slight bit of misfortune, or you could say Ferrari tax, struck them in the last race when Satvik just decided to end his own career as well as Steel Sneeze's race by dive bombing into his teammate out of the second DRS, third DRS straight. So hopefully their fortunes are better for this time, as Satvik having a slight bit of spin out of the last corner, second last corner actually, since this curve is the last corner, as he crosses the line and puts himself in P3 with a lap 1 second off of Arjun Senapati.
We still have 10 minutes to figure out where the losing time and what set of changes to make, as he does a Kansai Drifto and stops his car to let Sneeze pass, who goes wide as well, which makes. And we have Aaron Gavin, who has left qualifying.
He has retired from the session. It looks like a crash out of Denier 2. It's a very tricky spot because the exit, there is a chance that if you mount this curve right over here, you will bottom out and probably spin out as well and end up in the wall. And looks like that's what happened to Aaron Gavin, who is put in P5 at the moment with a lap 2 seconds off the pace, but I'm pretty sure he will be ousted from there and he will fall down the grid further.
Yep, track will evolve. I think the rain should lighten up by the end of qualifying. That's how it probably should, like it usually goes, even in Formula 1 IRL. Which brings me to the next topic, of Ferrari in qualifying in Singapore. Do you think the Ferrari in Tier 2 can replicate that?
I mean, it is highly possible because we saw that last time itself. I mean, in Singapore, in the last race in Challenger Series Tier 2 in Singapore, we had Ferrari 2-3. And the guy on pole right now has the guy who was on pole in the last race has DNF'd, so we potentially could see a pole as Steel Sneeze mounts the grass once again into the chicane, so he would have definitely lost a bit of lap time. As you can see, 143 already is 6.7 seconds off the pace, so Uh, never mind. That was his banker lap, so he's just turned on his ERS. So this will be his hot lap. Let's just stay on board him and watch as he tackles this hot lap then.
As you go to the very interesting S section, it's probably one of my favorite parts in the track. This is where you can gain all the time or lose all the time. It's going to be fun to see drivers go wheel to wheel, because if you stick it to the outside on the previous one, the inside over here to Denver is going to be amazing. As then you go to the next two turns, which I always forget the name of. Can you enlighten me?
This is Denier 1 and now he's going through Denier 2. So yeah, these two corners are the Denier corners.
Oh, then the previous one was Dunlop.
Yeah, that was Dunlop.
Thank you. Yes. I always get reminded of Lesmo's 1 and 2 when I look at those two handles. So yes.
Yeah, I mean Suzuka's corners are actually kind of easier to remember because as far as I know, they've only got 2 named corners and the rest of them are just numbers, which are kind of iconic, corners like the one
the one we are going to be up.
Yep.
130.
130 RS. Oh, Steel Sneeze, I don't know what he was doing there. He just casually drives onto the grass there and probably has lost a few hundreds as he makes his way through 130 R, approaching the only chicane in this track. Looks like he's gone a little bit right, and as he almost invalidates, and he definitely I don't know what he did there, but then yeah, his lap is off and he's gonna set a lap for P5, but still a second off the pace, but probably has enough ER battery for another lap. As I think he just skimmed past that Red Bull parked next to the just outside pit exit. That was Vinay, who was also currently going on his out lap.
Yeah, we're gonna see this a lot. I hope the people who watch the stream remember Singapore. Pretty atrocious. It was a common story between Tier 1 and Tier 2 both, so we can't blame people here. But then now, since they have full traction, it should make the story a bit better. But then, yeah, it's still gonna have sketchy moments like how Satvik had it, how Vinay had it, how Mr. Singh has been having it. And I have an interesting question for you. Except the iconic move by Fernando Alonso and Schumacher in 130, what's another iconic moment you can recall from 130?
Oh, of course, 130R. I don't know any other moves that were made by 130R because to be honest, I don't remember any such move happening in that corner. Although turn 1 is a very famous, very iconic overtaking zone. We saw many championship deciding moments occur there, as well as the chicane lead, the last 2 corners where I think Ayrton Senna's championship was decided. These 2 corners definitely one of the more famous ones as Steel Sneeze makes his way into the pit. So let's just go on board another driver because I think we've given Steel Sneeze a little too much attention.
Yep, let's stay on board Randy Adams as the board. McLaren's very close by.
Oh,
I hope they fix the issue. And the other one, okay, no, he's still there. Is he towing the other McLaren?
No, they're not on hot laps because they've both got battery and one is invalidated his lap. So
fair enough. And how many minutes do we have left if the yellow flag Porsche just disappears? There we go. 5 minutes. We got a glimmer of it. 5 minutes left. And we are now going to be beginning to see the laps of both the McLarens as well as Senapati still on pole with 137.9er. All the cars are more than half a second away from him, so Arjun has it by a very, very huge margin. But then, if I'm in the pits, if I was solo, Nirvana and Mr. Singh, I would keep an eye out on track evolution, see what's going on, and then just head out in the final few minutes and just set one lap, and that would be do or die.
Oh no! Ooh, Satvik had a moment there and he went headlong into the barriers there, and I don't know how he's escaped damage. He's got no damage at all from what I can see here. Kind of surprising, really.
That must have given the scare to our viewers there, but it surely did me. But that's fairly understandable. He almost just tank slapped himself over there.
Yeah, probably ate a little too much of that inside curve. You definitely gain a lot of lap time by sticking to the inside of 200R. as much as possible, but then there are also those treacherous curves that you shouldn't mount at all. But it looks like Satvik has managed to escape unscathed, because now he's gonna start another lap. Let's just go on.
Do you remember the 130R question I asked you?
Yes, of course.
So Sandeep Marido in the chat has mentioned the move. He says Leclerc made one move on the inside in 2019 against Kimi. Interesting, in the Alfa Romeo. Kimi was in the Ferrari then, if I'm not wrong, yes?
I think he moved. I think he moved to Alfa Romeo in 2019 itself. 2019 I had Leclerc and Vettel,
Yes.
because 2019 was the race in which Charles won the Monza race.
Yes, and this is 2019 also the one, and Wizard of Oz takes pole with a 37.7. He was 2 tenths quicker than Arjun Senapati. That's a huge difference between P1, P2 and P3.
But P1, P2 not so much, because it's only 2 tenths, but then P3 definitely. But the driver in P2 is still in. Oh, never mind. He just came out of the pit lane, but the game didn't update his status. But more on him later, because Satvik Reddy is approaching the exit of Spoon, and he's that was a spun out car of, I think, Mr. Singh, who was on his out lap and has managed to spin out, strangely enough. But let's get back on board. Satvik Reddy, as he goes 7 tenths faster than his personal best, I think, and showed a purple sector 2, so it could be a pole lap here. Provisional pole lap at least, because we've still got 2.5 minutes of qualifying left, and the drivers definitely can go faster, as he puts a lap for P2 just 400ths off of Wizard of Oz. Mighty lap there.
Yeah, I think now the track is starting to evolve, because he has gained quite a lot. Arjun Senapati I think we might see Arjun put up a monster of a lap, because he had P1 from huge margin. If he does replicate that lap again, I think we might see huge margin.
But Arjun Senapati is a skilled driver. He might. I don't think he made any mistakes like the other drivers who we were on board. They were going understeering off of turn 1 and then making a mistake. Oh no, he is lagging everywhere. Let's just go on board another driver. We'll just get back onto him when he crosses.
For the people wondering why we have such atrocious weather conditions in 2 races back to back, I want to remind you, it's Challenger Series for a reason. This is meant to challenge you, not give you a comfort zone like you have in the tier races where it's just battling drivers. You need to also challenge yourself to improve as a driver, which is the platform we have given you, Challenger Series. So don't you go crying for better weather.
I mean, in our regular league races, we leave the weather settings, the weather conditions to God. But this time we've decided to make things a little interesting. So hence the name Challenger Series, as Mist has been challenged a little too much, because he just invalidated his attempt out of Turnier 1. So 40 seconds left. I think he probably will have. Oh no, he's spun and he's destroyed his front wing. And
I would have said he has a chance to go for another lap, but then no, he doesn't.
Not anymore, as Mist has retired from professional P6. But maybe he will get ousted from there. You never know, because he's only got 7 drivers below him from Prabhaldeep and Mr. Singh, who are also on outlaps themselves, as Prabhaldeep. Yep, he's screwed up his attempt, because he's not gonna cross the line.
Can you go on board under Arjun Senapati, please? He's in the final sector.
Finals. Yes, 600s ahead in sector out of sector 2. And he crosses the line and goes P1 with a margin of 1,000th. P2, sorry, my bad. P2 with a margin of 1,000th of a second. Insane margins over here. It's like,
There you go. Track evolution at its finest.
As the other driver who was a potential contender for pole has invalidated his lap. So don't expect him to improve by much as Steel Sneeze crosses the line, and yeah, even he doesn't improve as I think he goes and banks the wall. No, he doesn't.
But didn't he go fastest final sector? He did go fastest final sector.
Yeah, maybe he had a moment in one of the earlier sections of the lap, but Nirvana, the only driver out the full tank of ERS, he's not setting a lap for sure. Maybe he's just trying to do a banker. I don't know. I don't know what, but if I were in his position, I'd retire right now.
While he's doing this, while we're watching Nirvana do a Sunday drive, we're gonna go down the grid so we can save time and do some gossip chatting while the server loads. So P1 Wizard of Oz 07 with a 137.7. Good luck. Tier-2 Arjun Senapati by one thousandth of a second delta in P2. In P3 we have Sathak Reddy with 400th of a second behind Arjun Senapati as well.
Yep, so it's a completely different order from what we saw last time. Or never mind, Satvik Reddy is there in P3, so yeah, it's not so much of a different order.
And P4 Dante Adams, P5 Sterling Sneeze, P6 Mist, P7 Problem Deep, P8 Aaron Gavin, P9 Solo, P10 Titan 23, P11 Vinay, P12 Nirvana, and P13 rounded off by Mr. Singh. Usually I would say keep an eye out for Wizard of Oz, since he has been showing good performances from the back of the grid to the front, but now we're going to see him start from the front. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, another interesting thing to note about Wizard of Oz is that he was a Tier 1 driver at the start of the season, but then he has been moved to Tier 2 because of certain reasons, which I cannot say here on stream. So him as well as another driver, I think I don't remember who it was. So they were a pair of teammates. As we are in the sprint race now, and it looks like cloudy conditions, slightly cloudy conditions. So at least the drivers will have a good time in the start of the race at least.
Now this is where it's going to get interesting, because now you'll have two spectrum of drivers. On the one end, you'll have drivers who compromised their setup for the dry in the qualifying, and they basically banked on having a dry race. They didn't change the setup, still went with a probably dry setup, and they might have a mighty race from the back of the grid if they didn't change the setup. And then we have drivers who tweak their setup to favor them in the wet and then compromise them in the dry. And if they qualify in the front, they might have a hard time keeping that position, because the drivers with the dry setup might do better.
Yep, indeed. Never mind. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention because I just saw his name of a driver leaving the session. Wizard of Oz is not in the session anymore, so I just hope we don't have any desyncs like what we had last time.
Well, if experience shows me right, just be mentally prepared for 3 session restart, because that's how F123 is.
Yes, indeed. Not just that, we've also got. Hold on, someone has readied up. I didn't see the session countdown timer. It won't show for me. I don't know why it's not showing for me. I think we had an early ready up. Yeah, we definitely had an early ready up because I'm not sure who it was. As Wizard of Oz's AI makes his way across all by himself to turn 1. So he started off the formation lap. So it's going to be a 6-lap sprint race, and the drivers have all obviously gone for soft tires, and we might have a potential lobby restart in our hand because of the early ready up. Let me just check in the meantime.
As we probably will.
It wasn't early ready up. We are good to go.
Fair enough then. So no lobby restarts, and welcome to the Combox wishes. So Wizard of Oz still yet to join. Let me see if I can quickly invite him.
Poor man, he was trying to join this entire time, and then our lobby leader hasn't invited him yet.
Oh, but I am the lobby leader. One second, give me just a second.
Fingers crossed that Oz has joined. Yes, he was waiting on SSJ, who hasn't invited him all this time. Poor man was shivering with fear by all this time.
Yeah, I'm having to do a little bit of multitasking here because I am coordinator, streamer, as well as commentator. Uh, has there ever been
A
uh,
man of many talents. A man of many talents.
man of many talents such a moment in IRC where a man not only of many talents but capable of such multitasking been in the combox?
Teach me Senpai as the McLaren. Who was that in the way back into
That's
Africa? Is that Nirvana?
no,
Yes, it's Nirvana.
that's Dante
That is
Adams.
Nirvana. Oh,
That's
that is Dante
Dante
Adams. Way
Adams.
off into Africa. He's
Way off into Africa. He's probably taken a trip to Mount Fuji and is coming back. Now the drivers have lined up on the grid, but I don't think Wizard of Oz will be able to take control of his car. So that will be an AI restart. And probably Deep has been disqualified, but that was probably because he did not line up his car. That's five drivers now having a skill issue in lining up their cars at the grid. So no penalty, straight away disqualification, but nothing to worry about. The tires will still be warm. Nirma, would you like to do the honors of taking away the race start?
Of course, it's pretty famous in IRC that I like to take race starts as we have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are lights out and away go for a sprint race. Never mind, I just went full no breath.
Oh,
But
we
what
got
is
a car restart!
happening?
Reversing!
As we have a red flag
No, what is gone? What is going on?
with the Red Bull going reverse, and
What happened?
I have no idea, but then as we saw a Red Bull just reversing and then we got red flag. Interesting. Like I said, you have to be mentally prepared for 3 restarts in F123.
Oh, that was a red flag. I completely missed that. I was just dumbstruck. What was that, man? That was a Red Bull reversing out the grid. Okay, never seen that before.
Yes, that was a Red Bull reversing, doing a 2-point turn and then just going onto the grass to let the field pass him, and then we got a red flag.
Ah,
F1 being F1.
well, I'm pretty sure the drivers are in the what do you call the red flag strategy menu now. So that's probably why we're having this black screen right now. So a potential cash cost, potential how do you call it? Thing that could happen is that we've got a red flag glitch on our hands, which means that as soon as the race would restart, we'd probably get a red flag immediately right off the bat. So uh, maybe we might have to restart the lobby itself. Maybe.
Lobby restart.
I don't know. Let's just we'll be back. Oh, we are having a lobby restart. Are we?
Yes, we are.
All right then. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back after this lobby restart. But don't leave don't close the stream yet. Don't close your YouTube yet. It'll just be another 5 to 10 minutes, and we will be back.
Hello, and we are back with the stream. Sorry, this the game we had to restart, and every race that I've come done F123 hasn't been very fruitful for me. So hopefully we don't have to do another restart. But then, with my experience in this game, I would say just be mentally prepared for another restart, and then so that you don't break your heart. With all the drivers in the session, we'll be now going back to the grid, give them time to put up the setup, and then we shall be preparing ourselves for a sprint race of 6 laps around Suzuka. In the com box with me now, replacing our beloved Sarasaj Assassin, is SwaggerTurbo. Hello.
Good afternoon, boys. Hello, hello. How's everyone doing?
With the situation of F123, very depressing, sir. How are you?
But yeah, it's like EA, we have faced these kind of issues earlier as well. So, no, can't really expect much from EA at this point. But at least, we are back now. And let's hope for a good race. These guys are going to get some time to start up their, put on their setups and get ready for this race. And yeah, overall, going to be a fun event, I guess.
Oh, by the way, I just realized something. We had a wet qualifying, and I remember mentioning this while we were waiting for the drivers to finish up the setup. Was that a lot of drivers would have compromised their setups to have a good quali,
Hmm.
but then compromise on the dry setups, right? But now, since the session has restarted, that restriction has kind of lifted itself off. So anyone who was on the back foot because of the transition from dry to wet, dry quality to wet quality to a dry race, that handicap is just kind of gone now. So this is going to be playing in the favor of those people.
That is very true. So coming out, on dries now, it's gonna be different braking points for these drivers. So it could get spicy in lap one. And while we're talking about that, it's 5 red lights for the Japanese Grand Prix, and it is lights out, and away we go. It is a Wizard in front. Arjun right next to him. He's getting a better exit than Wizard right now. And Arjun Senapati is actually in the lead. And both the Ferraris side by side going into turn one. And they're still going side by side. Sathwik and Steele just battling it out right now. And there's a huge crash at the back, Nirma.
We have the Mercedes, the Alpha Tower. We have Mr. Singh who's DNF'd. I think that's the car who with no front wing at the back. We have full course yellow. I think it's going to be safety car. No safety car, is it? Or is it just a virtual safety car? I don't know. Oh, that's a safety car right there. Yep, that's a safety car. We have a full course yellow safety car. In effect, Mr. Singh has DNF'd. We have Titan at the back of the grid. We have Prabhu's Deep with a time penalty, which insinuates that he might have caused the incident. This is not gonna be looking good for the people because it's a sprint race. You don't expect to have such a bad start, but then Mr. Singh was starting for the back of the grid anyways, so it's not gonna affect him. And let's see how it goes now.
Indeed, it's a massive crash at the back of the field for, the guys. And yeah, unfortunately, Mr. Singh is out of the session. But one thing to remember now is if these guys go into the pits, their tire allocations for the main race would get affected if it was a proper, lobby. But because it was a rainy session and then now we have a restart, they will have fresh tires for the main race as well. So making a pit right now won't really affect them that much. And yeah, because of the safety car, the guys who had the crash have a good chance of getting back at the guys in front. And of course, talking about the guys in front, Arjun Senapati getting an amazing start, overtaking Wizard of Oz right from the gate go. And yeah, overall, a very decent first lap, I would say.
Yeah, Arjun Sarabati put a monster of a quality lap, and he was just P2 by 1,000th of a second from Wizard of Oz. So that start played a very crucial role over there. As we now, as you mentioned, we have drivers going to the pits, but mostly because of the front wing damage that Prabhul had. He will also have a 5-second stop and go that he's going to serve, and then the mechanics can't touch his cars, and then they'll change his front wing. Same with Nirvana, but then he doesn't have to serve the 5-second stop and go. So that's probably a position. I think Prabhul was anyways in the last, right? Oh no, the Titan and Nirvana, and we have gained one position each. So yep, there it is, and it's a 4-lap race we have in front of us. Probably one more lap by the time these guys catch up. I am hoping the safety car comes in this lap so that we have at least 4 laps of racing to go. let's see what the racing gods bestow upon us as we go through the S's now.
Indeed, these guys will take a bit of time to catch up to the pack, so I guess it's gonna be one more lap of safety car. But again, this is a sprint race right now, so we could see the safety car going in this lap, and that's what everyone's hoping for, because we want some racing going on. We don't want the safety car to be just out for more than half the race. So let's just hope that these guys catch up to the pack, and yeah, we can go racing soon, because first lap was already super entertaining with the crash going on, with the amazing start that Arjun had, both the Ferraris just fighting it out for position as well, no team orders going on over there. So yeah, overall it's a fun first lap. Let's see when the safety car resumes, what kind of racing we'll see from these boys here.
Well, it is supposed to be Challenger Series. I was expecting a wet race as well because Suzuka is pretty fun in the wet. Uh, as compared to what you expect to have in Singapore. Singapore, we don't have much runoff, instant DNF there. But then I don't know. I find Japan fun during wets. What do you think?
It is a spanner in the works if it starts raining in between, but yeah, right now I guess it's just going to be a dry session, so yeah, not much in terms of like weather, but yeah, we'll just have to see what the main race has for us.
Indeed, indeed. While we still go through the very interesting safety car procedure, what do we talk about in regards to Japan? I think the two most iconic corners are the first corner because of Ayrton Senna in his championship, and then we have 130R with Alonso and Michael Schumacher. What else do you think is memorable here?
The first thing that comes to my head is the giant wheel at the back when we see, I think in sector 3, coming towards 130R. That is pretty, iconic. Whenever I see a track and I see that, I'm like, okay, this is Suzuka. And of course, the S section, as you said, does make sense. And yeah, overall, I feel like Japan is a pretty technical track. So it's like actually actually having a good time over here is pretty hard because of first sector, especially because of all the S's. If you nail it right, you can gain so much time compared to your competition.
Well, yeah, on the restart, keep an eye out for S's because if someone does mess it up, if Arjun, I would look at Arjun. I think a Wizard of Oz would want Arjun to mess it up because if he does, it's an easy move into Denver 1 and 2 for Wizard of Oz. But then, while you're talking about memorable corners, I think we have to also pay tribute and respect to one of the lost souls of F1, Jules Bianchi, the godfather of Charles Leclerc, who is making him proud and Charles's father Herbert proud as well. We have lost a lot of people in racing, but then this is what they do. This is what they love. So nothing but respect for the drivers who actually race in these conditions. As we have safety car in this lap now, the drivers are now going to be weaving as the Ferrari is weaving like a madman, and we have the McLarens as well. I don't see anyone else not weaving.
Indeed, everyone's trying to get their tires to the right temperature and just get ready for this safety car restart. We can see a lot of them are just going side by side towards the back of the field. Let's hope we don't get any more contact right now. And I think that is Arjun Senapati just hitting the throttle completely. And yeah, he's off. He has a pretty decent gap already, almost a second, just going into the straight. And Wizard, who you actually thinking that will attack Arjun, is getting attacked by Satwik right at the back, and that's a beautiful Ferrari delivery, and he goes wide. This is going to give a very good chance for the Ferraris to try and attack Wizard, but he keeps his own and stays in front of the Ferraris for now.
Now, I was expecting Wizard of Oz to stay close, but then Arjun just, bit the bullet and just flew off into the horizon. It is a few sectors of no hesitate driving, at least for now, because he knows he's built a gap from Wizard of Oz. But then the Ferraris, as we saw, probably a Mercedes go wide into, and then was the McLaren also go wide, and there was the AlphaTauri. That's a very interesting way to ruin your race list. Yes, that was a very comedic way of flying past our cameras, but then that's wing damage, and that is a race forgotten for missed, as we barely have a few sectors as the Red Bull goes wide, lets the Mercedes pass, and that's P10.
Yeah, Miss not really having a very good race. Maybe he got tapped from the back. We have no idea about that because we just saw his AlphaTauri flying off into the barrier and him losing the wing. So that's pretty much him done. And right now we see Aaron making a move on Solo and making it stick. So he has overtaken him right in front of while going into 130R, and the Ferrari of Steel Sneeze overtakes his teammate Satvik Reddy into the last turn. So a lot of fighting between the Ferrari teams going on. And yeah, those are actually the only two drivers of the same team just side by side, and they're fighting it out for the position.
I have a feeling we missed a move reminiscent of what you expect in 130R right there. What we witnessed in the final chicane as we have the McLaren keeping it out of the wall. Brilliant stuff. Solo not really. Was it Solo? Was it Vinay? Not really paying heed to Dante Adams. But yes, I think we've missed something a very iconic move right now between Steel Sneeze and Satvik. And what we just saw in the final chicane was just them finishing it up.
Indeed, that was really close fighting from these guys, but Wizard has caught up to Arjun Senapati right now.
Which
Maybe,
was
Arjun
very
made a
quick.
mistake, and
That was
yeah.
very quick catching up if you've noticed, because we were busy watching Steel Sneeze and Satvik fight while we didn't witness Wizard of Oz just close that 8th, 10th of a gap in like a lap.
But one thing that we have to take into account is all four, the top four, are under almost a second now. So definitely Arjun making some mistakes, and these guys at the back, just coming back at them and getting close to P1. So this is going to be a 4-man battle for P1 in the last, 2 laps of this lap.
As to see the Ferrari of Steel Sneeze being very itchy. And mind you, if you missed the Singapore race, the Ferraris had both the Ferraris had an incident in Singapore where they DNF, well, one DNF and the other just had damage. That was Satvik Reddy. And Steel Sneeze, as he goes on the inside, they had contact, but then nothing significant. Wizard of Oz keeps it on the track. That is now going to make the hands itchy of Satvik Reddy as well. We also have Titan, who's closing the gap to Nirvana under 2 tenths right now, but then this is the battle to watch as well. P4.
Indeed, Satvik also getting very close to Wizard. Wizard not really having a very good first sector right now. And is Satvik going to go for a dive? Thinks of it otherwise, but Wizard does go wide, comes back on track and takes out Satvik. So he did dip a wheel onto the gravel. That unsettled his car. And I think he turned into Satvik, which is super unfortunate because it was a very nice 4-man race for P1. And now it's just a 2-horse race because Wizard is almost 2 seconds behind these guys, and Satvik is down to P8 now.
As we're on the final lap, Satvik has just made his life difficult for the actual race. As Neil Sneeze and Arjun Senapati now going to be battling at Sneeze might expect to do something in the final chicane. He's too far off unless he does an atrocious dive bomb, which he will not. He has the common sense not to do it. He gained positions in the sprint race. He might be looking to finish it off in the race, as we have Arjun Senapati crossing the line in P1, so Cincinnati is P2, as we have a battle to the finish line. Wizard of Oz gets P3, Alan Gavin P4, Solo P5. Waiting for the cars to come up. That's Vinay in the back, P6, Prabhaldeep P7, Satvik P8, Dante P9. Satvik has fallen down the order in the sprint race, making his life difficult in the race, as we have Nirvana P10, Vinay Titan P11, missed P12 with the front wing damage, and Denver 2, and Mr. Singh did not finish. And he's going to start the feature race where he qualified at his feature.
Oh, this is very, very rough for Miss as well. He's just trying to finish the lap now, and he's so far back because of the mistake or maybe even punt into the wall that it's raining while he's finishing the race. So yeah, just unfortunate for him, but what a race this was by Arjun and Steel Sneeze as well. Getting up to P2 from, I think, P4. And of course, we had a few contacts at the back, but it was literally almost a photo finish between the AlphaTauri and the Aston Martin of Wizard and Aaron. So yeah, a very, very good race right now. And yeah, we'll just see how it goes in the main race.
I went through the order in the on the start finish line, Feel bad for Satvik Reddy. He's going to be starting P8. Not what he was expecting after how he performed in qualifying. But then, that is race. The racing gods give it, the racing gods take it.
Yeah, overall, a very good race, a very good sprint from these guys. Let's see what the weather is going to be like for the main race. And yeah, overall, a very good performance by Arjun as well as Steel. Steel had the fastest lap as well, almost 4 tenths faster than what Arjun could set. So it's going to be a very interesting start because Arjun had a very good start in the sprint race and now going on to yet another start. We'll have to see if he can try and replicate that kind of a start again, or will Steel go into P1, going into turn 1 of the main race. And looks like it's going to rain. So this is also interesting. It's going to be starting wet, so the setup changes that Nirma was talking about a little while ago is completely out the window again because I don't think it's going to go back to dries. But again, it's going to be a long race. A lot of things can change. This is going to be interesting for the main race as well. But yeah, overall, we are going to wait for around a minute for these guys to join the lobby, take a minute break as well, real quick between both the races. And yeah, again, as I said, it is raining right now, so this could be pretty dicey for a few people because again, the braking points change. We could see a few more crashes as well. So let's hope these guys can keep it clean, can brake, find their braking points and brake at the right time. And on the right side of the screen, we can see the giant wheel as well that I was talking about earlier. So yeah, overall, just Japan things. It was a dry sprint, wet quali. We're back with a wet race. At least it's going to be inter conditions right now. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and wait for the race start, of course, and watch what these guys do going into turn 1. And we are waiting on Nirma to come back as well. So yeah, let's just hope he also comes back soon.
I was here the entire time. I was speaking, but then I realized I was on mute as the conditions are atrocious. We have 5 lights, and we're going to be keeping an eye on Arjun Sanapati as we are not driving, and now we are driving, and away we go. We have the Red Bull going on the inside to avoid the car in front. That is a McLaren. He gets the move done easily, and Steels and Sneeze gets the move done as the McLaren of probably done that and goes off into the grass. Not something you wanted to do. I think that was Nirmala then, as the Alpine of Arjun Sanapati keeps it away from Solo. Steel Sneezers get the move done easily. P1, P2 Solo, and Arjun they've fallen down to P3. They see the Red Bull of Titan who had gone out to avoid the cars is now in P11 as Satvik Reddy already getting 2 positions up, not wasting any time.
What a first few sections, first sector this has been, because Steel going into turn 1, P1 away from Arjun. So the starting on the right is not really nice. While I'm talking about that, a Red Bull just goes super wide and is still wide going onto the gravel. The guy behind just goes into the wall and Titan is out. Titan and Dante had a major crash, both of them just turning right after coming out of the turn, and yeah, it's a virtual safety car right now. Steel getting a very good start. Arjun back to P2 now. He overtook Solo, who had an amazing start as well. And yeah, Wizard and Gavin at the back, P4, P5. Satvik gaining a couple positions, P6. And yeah, it's unfortunate for Titan that he has DNF and a very, very slow moving AlphaTauri right here. No idea what's going on here.
Well, I don't know. Mr. Singh gets another 5 seconds time penalty under race conditions this time. Yeah, so it's interesting. He got it under VSC, which he'll have to serve when he spits. Hopefully, he has enough pace to probably mitigate the damage it'll do to his long stint race. But then Data Atoms has wing damage as well, so probably shouldn't affect Mr. Singh as much. But yep, Arjun Sanapati comes back to P2. Okay, there it is. Vinay gets wing damage, rear ends missed. It also gives him a 5-second time penalty. Oh, never mind. That was Mr. Singh Vinay took out.
I have no idea what's going on there, but what we saw was very weird because the Red Bull did hit into, I think, Mr. Singh, who did not pit even under safety car. Is going super slow on the straight now, and I think there's a bit of delta going on over here, because of which he has to like slow down a lot on track. But yeah, that's a pretty much a free pit stop that he did not take. Maybe he was just avoiding a double pit, but I don't think his teammate did go into the pit. So very confusing from Mr. Singh right there. 5 seconds has, come off Vinay. So yeah, safety car does help a bit with the 5 second penalties, and Titan has left the session because yeah, he had DNF'd.
Well, it's not necessary to change tires or pit when it's wet race, so Mr. Singh might be looking to pull off an Ocon here and finish the entire race with one set of tires. But then that 5 seconds will count up to his final time as well. But then that was pretty stupid from Vinay taking out Mr. Singh. But then he also paid for it with the wind damage and 5 seconds. So that's, I think that's going to be where he's going to be finishing for now, P12, since Dante is already way off into the horizon. If these cars do not catch up in the next 2 laps, it's going to be a safety car in this lap. Sorry, it's going to be safety car in lap 4 or lap 5.
Indeed, we have like safety car for at least 2 or 3 laps. So yeah, we just have to wait for the safety car to go back in. But yeah, again, it's just the car was on the left side, was on pole, did lose the position yet again. I think the right side is just way more grippier. And yeah, Solo getting an amazing start as well. I think he was starting P5 or 6. And yeah, had a blistering start up to P3, was P2 at a point just before the safety car. Arjun did overtake him. So yeah, overall a very good start for the top 4. Bottom 4 not looking that great, but yeah, as you were saying, Mr. Singh may be trying to go for a no stop, but yeah, it's pretty much a free stop under a safety car, and no idea why he didn't go for it. While Mist gets into the pits.
Well, we can only speculate here because it's the drivers who are driving. We're just looking at them from the sky. So Mr. Singh might know something that we don't.
Mm-hmm.
While
was that medium tires on Mist?
I think. Yep, that is.
Mist trying a very bold strategy. It looks like it's pouring like crazy. Even now, it's just drizzling at least. And he's gone on to mediums. Thoughts on that, Nirma?
As I said, they might know something that we don't.
I have no idea what these drivers know that, it's like, it looks very wet, but yeah, he is going pretty slow as of now, trying to catch up to the safety car. Let's hope he doesn't spin out and bins it.
Yeah, like I was saying, credit where it's due. At least hasn't spun out yet. Well, we'll find out in Denver 1 and 2 if he actually does spin out. As we go through Dunlop, nothing for now. And Denver 1, does he spin? Yes, no, maybe. Okay, he doesn't. But then Denver 2, does he spin? As it's on camber? No, he does not.
I mean, maybe our eyes are deceiving us. Maybe it is dry. And yeah, he's going to make those mediums work. He is pretty, just chilled out right now. Not really, going into the wall. Yeah, it has.
Wait, with this full of something quite remarkable here, if he does manage to keep it on the track, has he done something here?
Maybe we were clowning him, and this could be one of a very big brain move, but the safety car is still not in yet, so they might get yet another lap behind the safety. Oh, and it is in the lap. Never mind.
You know what?
So,
if it was out for another lap, it would have been a huge bonus for Mist because it's stopped raining and then to dry up a lot more. And he's waiting for now. I think he is intending to stay out because he has realized the rain has stopped. And by the time he pitted, it was still raining. I think his engineer might have radioed in about the weather and then he just decided to just gamble it. He's anyways at the back of the grid. What's there to lose?
Indeed, and yeah, the race is resumed, and Steel getting a very decent exit out of the last corner, and Solo right behind Arjun Senapati right now, and pressuring him already, trying to go for a move down the inside, maybe just, stays behind. The gap is a bit too much, and yeah, we can just see Mist trying to gain on these guys, but is losing a bit of time in their section right now.
He has lost a lot of time. I don't think it's going to be working out. Yeah, there he is.
Oh!
Oi, Dante. That's not how you come back onto the track, mate.
That was super unfortunate for him. Again, it's the same to Dante and Vinay having a contact. And yeah, Dante just going to the back of the field yet again on inters, by the way. And yeah, Mist still just not able to gain much time. It is not dries yet.
But no worries, because remember, as long as he is within 20 to 30 seconds of the cars in front, it shouldn't matter at all.
That is true, but I don't. The gap right now is 15 seconds to the leader, and it's just like increasing every second that we speak. So yeah, let's see how it pans out towards the end of this race. But right now, Iron super close to Satvik, and actually Satvik super close to the guys right in front of him, and it's a proper battle yet again for I think P3 right now, because it's the Merc, Aston, and Alfa Romeo were very, very close going into the last few corners of this lap.
I think the track might start drying out by lap 6-ish. That's what I'm expecting. As we have... Okay, never mind. People are now pitting in for slick tires. Are they?
They are.
Yeah, they are now. Let's see where Mist ends up getting, because we have Arjun Sarpati on the hard tires.
So different
As
strategies going on for these guys.
While we have Mr. Singh with another 5 seconds time penalty, this time for speeding in the pit lane, not the race that Mr. Singh is going to be looking back to.
Indeed, and to be fair to Mist, he has come out in front of Steel, who was on pole and who was P1 when he pit. So he could have just pulled something off over here, going side by side, and this bit of contact, and that's the wing gone for Solo in the Mercedes.
Every contact, every situation that happens in front is a free position for Mist right there. I think we might be seeing a podium finish for Mist, if not a race win.
Indeed, because right now the track looks very, very dry, and these guys are making... Oh, yet again, safety car, okay.
Well, now it's happened for Mist. Does he pit for much fresher, softer medium tires, or does he stay out?
I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer. It's only 2 laps on those mediums. He could just stay out.
He also have 14 laps in front of him. So I mean, I would say, looking at how far out the grid is spread out now, I would say at least 3 laps. So that's going to put 5 laps on his mediums, if not 6. So he's also supposed to take them to lap 19.
The safety car is out, so yeah, it could help him trying, just eke every % of performance out of those tires. It will be super worn towards the end of the race, but yeah, a lot of them had pit just a lap before the safety car came out, and
we have the Aston Martin of Wizard of Oz in the pits right now, as well as Gavin and Satvik and Prabal as well. This is something Mist is going to be looking out for. Keep an eye out on Mist. Will he come out in front of those drivers?
He did have a 17-second gap to the guys in front, and right now we can see that these guys are still in the pits. They haven't really come out yet, they're just coming out now, and Mist is the leader.
We have just seen a driver go from last to doing a stupid strategy that we were laughing at, now P1 in a race in just 6 laps.
So indeed, Mist did know something that we did not, and how the tables have turned. Steel, who was P1 before the whole safety car and the pit windows, he was P1, is now P3. Wizard has overcut him by just staying out, getting the safety car, and he has, the track position now, and he's on the hards, does not have to pit for sure. And oh boy, this is going to be fun. But Wizard does have a penalty on his name.
And he has a hard tire. He has a drive-through. So that's just Wizard of Oz right there. Mist would be, thanking Wizard of Oz if he does defend. Foolishly enough, if he does defend from steals and sneeze, I mean, it's a no-brainer. You wouldn't want to defend from steals and sneeze because you already have a drive-through. But then if he does decide to defend, that's some additional benefit and advantage that Mist would be looking forward to, because we know how aggressive Steel Sneeze and Aaron Gavin get. Wizard of Oz as well, but then since he has a drive-through, he's already out of the pack right there. But then Steel Sneeze and Aaron Gavin and Satvik Reddy as well. So 3 drivers who will be hungry for that P1 because they know they can get it. But Mist outplaying and outbraining everyone on track right now.
Indeed, from going from the inters to medium tires, like literally 1 or 2 laps before it was optimum track temperature and just optimum track overall. We have a Mercedes just stranded in the pits. It's just waiting for pretty much nothing. I think this is a glitch by EA
There
again.
you go. There you go.
Mercedes just does
Just
not
leave.
want him in.
And just leave.
What's going on?
Just-
Maybe Solo has retired? No. What? What's going on? Okay, this is super confusing. The car is coming out and Solo is a whole lap behind them, behind the leaders right now. He's pretty much lapped without a front wing, and I don't think he's coming out of the pits on new fresh tires as either. This was a super weird glitch, and yeah, this is the first time we've seen this. He's pretty much a lap down now, still on inters, so hasn't really pit yet. I have no idea what EA is after right now. Nirma, just so you know, you're muted yet again. But yeah, overall, a very
I
interesting
muted, I
race.
was laughing. I was laughing my hat off. That was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing. That's for the memes. That has to be immortalized in the memes. They just refuse to pit him and then they just run back out to let him go again. That is amazing.
Yeah, that was just, I have no words. I literally have no words for what's going on right now. But yeah, we just have to move on. Solo's race is pretty much done. I won't be surprised if he gets into the pit and just retires, because there is no coming back from, a glitch as huge as that.
That's I don't know why EA.
We've already had a restart, and yeah, now we've seen a very interesting glitch, to say the least. So this is gonna be a very interesting race. We still have around 13 laps left, and boy oh boy, 7 laps of just complete entertainment right now.
Guys, a slight bit of info for you. Safety car's in, by the way. So, although from our stream it looked like Solo was lapped, the game says that he's only 7/10ths behind P11. So, technically he wasn't lapped.
But what happened there?
I have no idea. We've got no idea. So, Wizard of Oz has stopped. I think. I'll let you guys take it away.
Yeah, I mean, as we're gonna be keeping an eye out on Mist because he's gonna be taking it away, and he has fumbled the bag. Wizard of Oz is gonna be attacking Mist. This is exactly what Mist didn't want after the big brain play that he did. He almost gets tipped away from Steel's knees, but then Steel's knees keeps it away and not pit maneuver. Mist. Wizard of Oz has gotten P1 and that he's gonna fly because he has to stop the drive-through penalty as well. And he gets a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags as well. 5 seconds plus the drive-through. No.
Okay, hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay, so I had a slight electrical issue over here, and yeah, I'm back with comms on my phone, and a lot of things have gone down already. The Alfa Romeo and the Aston Martin and the Alpine going side by side. Very weird things going on by Wizard right now. He has a DT, he has a 5-second penalty as well to add to his woes, and this is not really looking good for him right now.
What's going on with Wizard of Oz? Because he just thread the needle right there, but then he's going insanely slow.
Indeed, something definitely wrong right now. Both the McLarens going side by side, and we can see that I think that's Solo, which is all the way at the back now, and he is on the medium.
Can we go on what P2? We're gonna see a move through 130R. Sneals knees gets P1. Does he stick it? Yes, he does.
What a move by Steel right there to get P1 off of Mist, and wow, they're going side by side yet again. Satwik not out of this yet. He's up to P4 now, right in front of, just squeezed in front of Arjun Senapati, who did win the sprint race. And right now we see the Alpha Tauri as well going around the inside of the Alfa Romeo and going side by side to the. What a move that was! And the Alfa Romeo comes back at him, gets pushed slightly onto the grass. That's fair racing, and what a move that is.
I mean, let's go back to Satvik Reddy and Arjun Senapati battling. That was beautiful battling right there. They gave each other enough respect to leave them room, but then also defending like absolute animals. That's beautiful racing. As that's what that's. This is not what you want to see. This is not the racing you want to see. You want to see the racing between Arjun Senapati and Satvik Reddy. As both of them got in three positions over Mist. Mist is now fallen from the podiums, and he's now P4.
Indeed,
And
that's super unfortunate for him. Mist had a lot of contact, and yet again, Aaron just right there trying to get the position, and he does get it back from Mist. So Mist overtook him. Both of them had a bit of contact, and Aaron is back to P4. Arjun Senapati, because of all that, is back up to P3, and he is on the hard. So he's in a very good position to actually try and even win this as of now.
As we see both the Ferraris 1 and 2, this is exactly what the Tifosi fans like me and you, Swagger, want to watch. Ferraris finishing 1 and 2, but then that's the dreams of the far future, or maybe even of the day of fusion. He has DNF. He has DNF.
That is super unfortunate. He's on the left, right, over there, and that is super weird. I have no idea what happened there, but yeah, Steel Sneeze is out of the session. We are talking about Tifosi and P1 P2.
What a jinx, Nirma. What a jinx. This is exactly what the Tifosi want to see. Ladies and gentlemen, peak Ferrari moment for you right here. As we've got another driver leaving the session. I just popped into the comm box to say this. I'll leave you guys back to it.
Yep, you framed it perfectly. That's peak Ferrari moment right there, and this is why us Ferrari fans will never be out of depression, because Ferrari is always there depressing us. Even in the tier 2 races as well, Sneeze is going to be hearing a lot of earful from me as Dante gets squeezed by Vinay. Beautiful move by Vinay right there to get. Is that Vinay? Yes, that was Vinay getting P5. Will he now be aiming to get Mist as well, who was on 3 laps older mediums?
Alright, so I had a few issues with my PC. I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, now it should be fine. And we are back. We have Alfa Romeo going down the inside of Alpine, gets pushed off wide into 130R and defends very well, to be very honest. But it's not over yet. Arjun is coming back at him. He will have DRS in a couple of laps. And yeah, he will have a very good chance. Arjun can get back up to at least P2, while Satvik is in front. Gets back, the P1 that he was looking at in the previous sprint. And yeah, what a race this has turned out to be.
It's a very interesting race. We had a lot of incidents, and we had Mist giving us the big brain move. Then we had Sneel's knees doing typical Ferrari things as well and deciding not to exist. Then we had Wizard of Oz going from the highs of the highs to the lowest of lows, but still a time penalty, and maybe he hasn't served his drive. Yeah, it seems he hasn't served his drive through yet. So it's the race to forget for Wizard of Oz, who did beautiful. Okay, yes, served his drive through, but he still has a 5 seconds. But then it's a race to forget for Wizard of Oz and for Titan as well. And Mr. Singh, who I thought would be start finishing at the back of the grid, is now P9. Can he overtake Nirvana as well? That's something to find out later on, as the closest driver right now is P3 to P2.
Indeed, we know that Arjun has a lot of pace in that car. He did win the sprint, so the only thing right now, he's just hoping that the mediums fall off in like 3 or 4 laps from now, and he can get back at Aaron and Satvik in front. Mist also doing a very good job of keeping that Alpha in P4. So yeah, not bad race by him. We saw a crazy strategy by him, which worked a treat for him. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting end to the race, because we have the guy who was, in P1, just going into the wall, DNFing, and then the people who we were wondering that, they'll be in the back of the field, they are in front. And we have Wizard, who's all the way at the back with Solo as well as Mr. Singh. So a completely different order from what we saw in the sprint. And oh boy, this has been a crazy race till now. Yeah, overall, right now we just have Vinay trying to close the gap to Dante. These two have had a lot of just contacts right in front, and he gets a 3-second time penalty. That's not really going to help Vinay at all. He is getting chased by Prabhaldeep behind him, and Prabhal can actually just stay behind him and still get P6 because of that penalty now. So Aaron in P2, Satvik P1, Arjun has slowly settled down into P3. And yeah, it's missed P4, a very sizable gap between Dante and Mist actually, and that's actually just slowly but surely just eking out a little bit of time here and there. But yeah, Mist is on the mediums, and while we're talking about that, Prabal is under pressure from Nirvana. He just moves to the side, and yeah, something weird going on with Prabal. He just, I think, messed up a little bit going onto the grass and lost a lot of time, and yeah. It's a pretty straightforward move for Dante over there, and Vinay is right behind Trouble now, who is going a lot, just left and right to really get a very good exit. And yeah, that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, just a small correction, Swagger. That was actually Prabal overtaking Vinay. But Dante is actually like a second and a half ahead of both of them.
Oh, I'm really sorry about that. I actually saw McLaren there, my bad. But yeah, we have Nirma, who's still mute. I have no idea what's going on there. But yeah, we have Vinay, who did get overtaken right now, which is unfortunate. But yeah, Solo, I think, is still a lap down because the times show that he's just 7/10 behind. But yeah, he's like pretty much a mile away from everyone else. And that's just, EA being EA right now. He had a very unfortunate incident in the pits, and yeah, that really hasn't helped him. He's completely glitched out, and we are on board Dante, who has caught up to Mist. So the hard tires are coming back slowly but surely, and we could see Dante making a move on Mist, going for P4. But Mist has had a few bumps here and there with Arjun. We have seen that a bit earlier. And yeah, 130R not getting a very good exit out of there. And Prabal is also, closing up on these guys. Dante gets squeezed, and yeah, that's just unfortunate for him.
Well, that's Dante going for a merry-go-round and a detour, another merry-go-round. Yes, ringer roses around the track in the final corner. Dante Adams, that is probably not what he wants, but the Wizard of Oz will be looking for that because it's going to be a free move for him, but he's very slow for some reason. That's very interesting for now, but then we are back to racing speed. I don't see anyone who might be on a charge except Dante on Wizard of Oz, but then as we all know about Wizard of Oz's speed, he might just fly off into the distance. So no battles for the foreseeable future as we have the DNF. At least thank you for making the race very interesting. Dante Adams has retired from the race.
We have seen Dante getting into a lot of, a few at least, a few problems in the sprint as well as this race earlier on. And he is out of the session. That is super unfortunate for him. We have lost 3 drivers, only 10 drivers left, and Solo might get a single point over here with just being a lap down.
And I think it's the top 15 who get points. So if as long as these 3 drivers would have kept it on track, they would have been taking points as well.
Top 15, and the drivers have to do 75% of the race by themselves, which means if their AI does a little more than 25% of a full race of that race, they don't get any points.
So yeah, all they had to do was not, DNF, go into the wall.
Not die, basically.
Yeah. So Dante actually would have got points if he stayed out for like 1 or 2 laps more. Oh, and that's the leader. That's the leader, Satvik, I think into the wall or just spun out going into the S's, and he has lost his position. He's lost P1. What's going on there then, Nirma?
I don't know. I am confused at this point. There's a lot of things happening in this race. This race has been kept on giving us something to either to talk about or just marvel at. This might be the mistake that Mist would be looking for, because now Mist has an opportunity to get that podium that he deserves. Podium and Vinay as well as DNF. Is it Denver? Yes, there he is. He has crashed into Denver. That is not a fancy cash that is kind of reminiscent of what we saw Stroll do in the final corner in Singapore.
And that is super unfortunate for Vijay because he was making up a few positions as well and was in a decent position to actually get P6. And yeah, he's just gone into the wall. No safety cars though. So we've had a fair share of safety cars before. And that is super unfortunate for him. And this has actually opened up a very good, given a very good chance to Iron to actually win this race. It's 10 laps on those mediums. They will be, going off the cliff soon, but it's only 3 more laps left. So he can, there's an outside chance that he can just keep the car in front of Arjun Senapati, who's been doing really well, but those hard tires just not, turning on right now. And as we speak about that, Prabal making a move on Mist, trying to go for a move around the outside, but turn 1 is not the place to do that. And Satvik Reddy is out of the session. Both the Ferraris are out now. That is just...
That is not peak Ferrari moment. I don't know what is. That is just breaking. I hope this is the only Ferrari DNF we see today, and the race that is going to be happening at 6:30 IST does not have this, because then I would just cease to exist IRL as well. But then that is exactly what just wanted. And if he can defend from Trouble Deep, which he should know with all his might and life, he has a podium right there in his hands.
Oh, this is just super unfortunate for the Ferrari fans and the Tifosi, both the Ferraris, while in the lead, made a mistake, and now Satvik is not even there on the podium. So, as you said, let's just hope this stays only for, in this race, only in the virtual world, and they do well in the real world. But yeah, coming back to this race now, lap 16, going into lap 17 real soon. This is a very good chance for Prabal to actually make a move on Mist, but Mist has to defend this. He went for a very bold move with those mediums when it was still wet and it was drizzling, and now he has a chance of getting on the podium. That just the singular strategy could just help him out and get a P3 in this race.
Indeed. Now let's see what the final 3 laps have in store for us, because up till now this race has not disappointed at all. As we see the beautiful pause menu of F1 23, because that's the only thing that I would like to say, the pause menu, because this entire game is in shambles. I just still feel bad for Solo. It's something I would not even wish for on my worst enemies. I feel bad for him.
His name is Solo, indeed, and yeah, he is at the back of the field, just chilling solo. So yeah, just doing what his name says. And yeah, we still can see that Prabal is pushing on, trying to get catch up to Mist, but yeah, it's not really happening. And Arjun Senapati has left the session. Arjun Senapati has had some network issues, I guess, and he has left the session with only 2 laps to go. He's on air right now, and there's 5 seconds between him and Mist. Mist could actually get a P2 over here with Arjun going out of the session right now.
It's just coming together for Mist at this point. I don't know what black magic has he done. It's just coming together for him at this point.
He did go for a very bold strategy, and you can see that it's clearly paying off. 2 laps to go though. He has to make sure he does not make more mistakes, and the gap is coming down. Arjun, if he does not get back on the game, he could lose a potential podium over here, and he's been doing so well to just stay in the podium, and yeah, this is just not looking that great for him.
As we are probably going to be witnessing our lobby leader inviting him for potentially joining the race and probably not giving Mist the P2.
And Wizard just flying at the back of the field now. He is P7 with nothing to lose, so he's just trying to get an extra point for himself in the Challenger Series. And yeah, Aaron right now just 10 seconds gap. That is pretty much a slam dunk or victory, unless he wins it, which let's hope he does not. But yeah, he is pretty much just chilling in P1. Arjun's AI is still in P2, but Mist is catching up by around 2 seconds a lap. I would say it is around 2 seconds a lap, isn't it, Nirma?
Probably, yep. It seems like 2 seconds a lap. Yep, yep. I
Yeah,
don't think it's going to be enough though, because this is the final lap. Unless he can catch up with 6 seconds, that's going to be insane. As Mr. Singh's AI seems to be touring around with Solo at the back. I think Solo has given up at this point, so it's going to be no points for Solo probably because I don't think he's been driving for quite a bit.
I mean, after what happened, even I wouldn't be driving for quite a while. But yeah, I think it's just the top 6 trying to get it back home, and both the cars just going through each other. And Gavin right there going into the sector 3 now, and he's just cruising at this point because he doesn't really have to push. Oh, sorry, sector 2. But yeah, he's just cruising at this point because he knows that all he has to do is keep it on track, don't go into the wall, and he will win the Japanese Grand Prix.
Gavin has just flown under all of our radars. He didn't do exceptionally well in qualifying. He didn't do exceptionally well in the sprint race, and then now he just, kept it. He just vibed. He just did what you would do in online lobbies and just chill and drive, and he's gonna win the race in the Challenger Series.
Indeed, he has been kind of an underdog, and the only thing he's done is kept it on track and kept it super consistent. He has been driving very well, going into 130R for the final time, going into the penultimate corner. And what a lovely race this has been from Aaron. We've had so many DNFs, so many contacts with Gavin as well. He was in contact, but he gets over the line in P1, and I think Arjun will just be able to get P2 thanks to his AI as well. He also had an amazing drive till now, and that's P2 for Arjun, and Mist brings it home in P3 with an amazing strategy.
Beautiful race indeed.
But yeah, overall a very good strategy by Mist. A very good race overall, and yeah, it's like a very good race to just watch and commentate on. This has been a super interesting race to say the least. We had a very good quali going into the sprint as well. Laps of just so much action going on. Both the Ferraris, while in the lead, did win it, and yeah, both of them are out now, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is.
I mean, if you drive Ferrari, or if you just support Ferrari as a team, it's a big.
We get used to it.
If you can hear my voice, you can understand how depressed I am as well. Even if it was the virtual team that just had a skill issue, it's just I feel bad. I don't know. I'm lost for it. It just feels bad.
But yeah, it feels good movement for the Alfa Romeo. P1 gets his, I think, first win as well over here. Could be wrong over there, but yeah, overall a very good race by Aaron. He just got 5 points in the sprint, so not a very good like as we were talking about earlier. He didn't really shine, like he didn't have the fastest lap or anything, but he was just super consistent, kept the car on track as well, and yeah, overall what a race by him.
This was fun indeed. Good race. It kept us on our toes the entire time as commentators. I can only imagine for the drivers who drove. But then, yes, good race indeed.
Yeah, we have had a lot of crashes, a lot of good overtaking as well, and yeah, what again? I can't really just stress on what a race this was. Going from inters onto mediums, like onto dries actually, and Mist taking the gamble while under safety car while the track was super wet, goes onto mediums, and yeah, overall what a race it had been.
As we have in the podium for now, we have Aaron Gavin in the podium, who finished P1. Aaron, your thoughts on the race?
Yeah, the race was good. Like I didn't think I was going to win. I had an incident with Mist. Then also Satvik kind of screwed up. So yeah, that led me to the win. So that's all. Pretty short story for this race.
But yeah, Aaron, we were talking about this in, during the race as well. We didn't really see you much in the sprint race. And to be very honest, even during the main race, we saw you in P5, P4 area. And once everything unraveled, you were P1, just super consistent. So yeah, what was going through your head when you were, P1 going into the last few laps?
Um, uh, yeah, so when Satvik was ahead of me, I was like completely fired up, like putting in like all those consistent laps. It was very like the rush was next level. Then and I also screwed up in quali, so that was a bummer. And in the sprint race, I think I was eighth. So then I came up to fifth or something. So the sprint race was not that exciting for me, but it was a good comeback in the main race. So thankful to Satvik for screwing up.
Well, that was an interesting race. Thank you for an interesting race. And we have missed the man of the moment with that big brain strategy. So, missed, what's your thought on the race? What happened? And he left us. May his soul rest in peace. I shall drag him back.
Hello.
Missed radio check. Yes, hello, Missed. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm happy with the podium. I think I didn't have any pace today. It's just the strategy saved me. I was able to come to first, but couldn't hold it off because of the pace. I was struggling a lot in this track.
Let's just say that the Ferraris being Ferraris helped you as well because you were at the back of the grid and then you pitted for the mediums. We in the Combox thought you just screwed up your tire strategy, but then it took us a few corners to realize it was a big brain strategy. So what were you thinking before going to the pits and what were your thoughts a few laps after? Because you seem to be not having pace after the safety car restart.
Yeah, so the engineer was saying that the race will stop in 2-3 minutes. So I thought, okay, the track will dry up soon, and everyone has to pit when the safety car is gone. So I will get a chance to go to medium and maybe struggle a few laps, but then I will be able to get track position. So that was the thought behind pitting. So I think it worked out fine. In the end, yeah, others also got a safety car, so that kind of screwed my race because other was able to catch up to me. Otherwise, if the second safety car wouldn't have come, I would have handicap for me. But yeah, but then I didn't have pace, so people were overtaking me left and right. So and then Ferrari screwed up, so got into podium.
We're talking about your strategy quite a bit because that was a very bold move of you to go early on the mediums and making it work. So congrats on the podium Mist.
Thank you.
And yeah, let's get on with P2, who is Arjun Senapati. Amazing race yet again, Arjun, by you. For the sprint, you did win it, had a crazy start in the sprint, and going on to the main race as well. Towards the end, you had a disconnect issue. Just take us through what you were, just thinking of. Arjun, hello?
Very inspiring words by Arjun indeed. Hello, mic check.
Hello,
Yep,
Hello,
there we
sir.
go. We can hear you.
audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Swagger. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I had a decent pace today. Not much practice, but yeah, it worked out in the start of the sprint, which helped me take the lead. And in the race part, there were lots of safety cars screwing up. And in the end, just my PC decided to lock up, so I could not catch Aaron.
But yeah, overall, a very good race from your side as well. Getting P2, definitely. Even maybe with the tire strategy, you were on a different strategy to Aaron.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you could
I
have.
thought I could have been a little faster than him. I thought so. So being on the hards, but no, hards and mediums were almost the same pace the entire race. Didn't matter at all. He was quicker than me.
Right, but yeah, overall, decent race from you as well. That's very good points for
Thanks a lot.
yourself.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
So yeah, congrats on the podium. Nirma, you want to just take it to the end?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No, not really. I mean, yeah, I want to ask you what was your thoughts on the race start because you got overtaken by you got overtaken by Wizard of Oz, who then just started to fumble down the grid. What was your thoughts when he just blitzed past you in the beginning of the race?
Yeah, Wizard got a better start of the line than me, and then I just could not brake later. I was not able to brake. I was missing the braking points a lot, and then he took advantage of it and just overtook me over there.
Well, regardless, beautiful racing, beautiful
Yeah.
racecraft for everyone over here. Thank you for that amazing race and for entertaining us throughout this
Thank you
race.
so much.
And
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
for everyone watching the stream, we also have F1 in Singapore at 6:30 p.m. IST, and also don't miss the Tier 1, which will be later tonight, where you'll be joined by me again and a mystery commentator and streamer. So stay tuned.
Yeah, yeah.